Hi friends, in this session we are going to learn how to code our first C program. In any programming language, it is a tradition to print a message called hello world in the first program. So similarly, we are going to do the same thing. We are printing a message called hello world. C language is based on functions. So this main is in C language, main is the mandatory function. And we also have to include a standard library, standard input output stdio.h. This is a standard library of C language. We have to include this. So this is the syntax: hash include less than stdio.h greater than. Whether you have a space here or not, this is not an issue. And C programming language is case sensitive, so you have to use it in small letters. You have to use all small case letters. You all know what is a function, right? For example, in mathematical functions we use like f of x is equal to x square. So x is an input argument, whereas x square is a return value. Similarly, for this function, main function, within these brackets, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, we can provide input arguments. In this function, we are not giving any input arguments because in C it is not mandatory. Whereas the return value, the x square here is right. So return value is mandatory in C language. That is the reason I gave int, and I am also returning a value return 0. This is mandatory. This has nothing to do with the program. If we consider this box as a program, so x is an input argument. For example, in C programming, within these brackets, we give the input argument which is called x, and the x square, which is a return value, is this one, return 0. So this program returns an integer value. We all know, right? Integer means a whole number, whether it is a 0, negative number, or positive number, but it's a whole number. It's not a fractional number. So let us see. I have written a program, this small program, on the desktop and named it as first.c, and let us execute it. So first.c, you can see the file right on the desktop. So in order to execute, you have to type gcc first.c and enter. And if you see, there is a file called a.exe got generated. In order to execute this, you have to type a or a.exe and enter, and it will show the message hello world. By default it is generating a.exe, right? Instead of that, if you want to compile first.c and create an executable called first.exe, if you see the directory, you can see first.exe. First.c is the source file or C code, and first.exe is the object file which got generated. So if you execute, enter first, and it will show the output hello world. We have seen the main function is mandatory in a C program, right? The execution begins from the first statement within the main function. So let us copy paste and write a few more functions. For example, I am copying it, renaming it to second, and this we say hello world from second function, for example. So if this function gets executed, this will print hello world. If this function, second function, gets executed, this will print hello world from second function. Okay, let us save it, compile it, and see. So I am compiling it, first.c, output file first.exe. So let me execute it first. So if you see, it is only printing hello world. That means only the main function got executed and it printed hello world. This function did not get executed. The compiler simply ignoring the other function. So let me put it here, for example, on the top, to see whether this will get executed. Again I am saving it, and again I am compiling it. So let me execute again first. See, this is only printing hello world, which means only the main function is getting executed whether it is placed on the top or bottom. What to do if we want to execute this one also? Simply we have to call this function explicitly from the main function. So I am saying second. This is how we call the function. Function name, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, and semicolon. All statements in a C program ends with a semicolon. Also here, this program, second program, is returning a return value, right? Integer value. It is returning an integer value. So we have to catch it. Int I is equal to second. So this program will get executed and the value returned will get stored into I. Let us see now whether this will get executed or not. I'm saving it, again compiling, and now executing. So if you see, hello world is printed, also hello world from second function, both are printed. That is because we are calling this function second explicitly from the main, and there is no line or space between these two statements, right? So for that, so we need a line, blank line after hello world, right? So I'm writing hello world /n. So let me compile it and execute it. So we can see a line. It is printed in a different line. A blank line got printed, so it went to the next line and it printed there. In the next session, we are going to see the exact syntax of printf command. This is the output command. Also, the input command called scanf. Scanf and printf, the exact syntax and all we are going to learn in the next session. Also, the declaration of variables we did not talk about, right? So we will also talk about the declaration of variables, and we will also learn about string formatting and escape sequences like /n in the next program.